Welcome to Everett Barbecue. I'm Joe Everett, and today we're smoking a brisket point on the Dynaglow offset smoker, and we're gonna have the longest brisket slices the internet's ever seen. Brisket point with double the bark and double the burn ends? Yes, please. We're gonna start this trim by getting rid of the hard fat on the cap and losing all the pointy ends that are just gonna burn up in the smoke. I always like to get rid of all the fat and the silver skin on that meat side. We are separating the point and the flat pre-cook, so you gotta find that band of fat and follow it all the way through. Just keep it in the white and keep chasing those little pockets of air and you'll be all right. Now that we got this thing separated, I like to clean up both pieces, trim off the fat, and round out those edges. We're gonna season this up with our standard brisket treatment. Avocado oil binder, AP rub, and one extra layer of coarse black pepper. You know the drill. Start with the sides. You rub binder in and you pat that rub in. Season the underside second, so you flip it over to finish on that presentation side. We're smoking this fat cap up and that thing is looking super sweet. It's time to put this on the smoker and take it to the streets. You know what it is, team. We're lining the bottom of the firebox up with 4 chunks of pecan and then starting off with a layer of Kingsford briquettes so that the smaller pieces of royal oak lump don't fall through to the bottom. And speaking of lump, you know we're going with that royal oak lump on top, getting that flavor saver for later. Before we get started, I might add a little bit of H2O to Dinah just above the firebox. Help tame old girl down just a peg. Let's go to Torino. Okay, fam, here's what we're going on with. Nothing to it but to do it. All right, I am going top rack and probably the skinny side away from the firebox for your information. You're like, Joe, just put it on the freaking rack and go, will you? Okie doke. We're gonna give that a couple hours and see how she fares in the old Dynaglow. We're exactly 3 hours in on this brisket point. I'd say we'd take a little peek and see what we're up to. Ooh, yeah. How about it, team? That thing is looking very nice. Excuse me. I may have thought better about trimming some of the smaller bits, but it is really cruising along right now. Yeah, that's looking pretty doggone good. We're just gonna keep on keeping on, hitting it with the Spritz. Might wrap it in some foil here in a bit and have some epic brisket slices coming up. All right, we're about 4 hours in. Dinah's losing a little heat, so it's time for a refill, maybe a Spritz and a look-see on this brisket point. All right, first thing is first, we are very, very low on fuel. Mind your sparks. All right, let's see how 4 hours is treating this brisket. Got just a touch of Poolin there. I really like the way she is looking right now. Half of mine to flip it on the other side, but it's so thin over here. I think I'm just gonna let it keep on keeping on. Maybe another hour or two and then we are wrapping. You take that, you. Hey, you can't tell me you don't like the way that's looking, right? We'll be back in an hour, check. Okay, team, we're about 5 hours in on this brisket point. Say it's time to take a look and potentially wrap. Dinah swimming 250. That's what she knows. It is what she knows. Ooh, that's how she's looking, and there's nothing coming off. I say we're about time for a little wrap nap. All right. Let's say we'll give her a couple more hours. All right, fam, this brisket point's been wrapped for about an hour, hour and a half. Let's get a little probe, see how tender she is. Ooh. Yeah, I didn't need any sort of tallow or... All right. There's still a bit of resistance. And just right there. I think I'm gonna call it, simply because I'm gonna hold this for quite a bit in the cooler. Just a nice little long rest on there. Boy, that's gonna be good. It's smelling phenomenal, y'all. That's about 6.5 hours total cook time. We're throwing it in the cooler for a nice long rest, maybe a couple of pops, and do some sampling. Yeah, tell me that doesn't look awesome. Nothing wrong with a little bit of extra credit. Gotta get killed. Oh yeah. If that ain't the tail of the tape, I don't know what is. Longest slice of brisket on the internet, I challenge you, find a longer one. Oh yeah. You know it's gonna be good. And will you look at that? Hey now. Hey now. You know what we're doing with that. I will confess though, I believe we got a little touch overdone on the larger portion of the point there. Outside of that though, achieved quite the smoke ring. Cheers. I'll also confess I left a little more fat on there than I intended to, but boy, you want a real party pleaser, something to break out for appetizers, serve bites to everybody, the best porky bites in the business, Buster? You want to do this. Fairly easy cook here. 5 hours in the smoke on Dyna. I cooked it wrapped for about an hour and a half and let it sit in the warmer, I'd say 2.5 more hours, maybe even 3. Sliced into it and she's still probe tender and delicious. Okay fam, I'm definitely press and repeat on this cook. And I hope you all at home give it a shot as well. You want any more cooks from my channel or other videos? Ring that bell, click subscribe, join my tribe, jump in the backyard, hang with my gang, and you can get to cooking with us. That's gonna be good. Getting to be that time of year where we get hot, real hot. Oh baby. Yeah, that thing's got what I need. I ain't got no time to mess around. Leaves are turning, seasons are changing, and babies are being born, mother.